all I do is work and work and work. I work every day. Every day, you guys. Every day. Double shift. I go to one job in the morning and the other job at night while my kids miss me. While my 12-year-old got to watch my 2-year-old, right?
Now, this here is a prime example of how everybody should go and learn a skill. We should start practicing skills. Skills help you build. Stop trading your time for money. Trade your time for skills. Of course, it's going to be hard. It's going to be a little struggle. But you would rather struggle by learning a skill than have to struggle in life where you can't afford bills. You can't afford spending time with your kids, your family. You want to focus on buying your time back. People are watching this internet and trying to go live a life of impressing people instead of investing, and it's making them feel like they're not enough or they're not worth it. Take your time. Stop rushing. Build. You don't have to rush anything and feel like I gotta go on a trip. I gotta do this. I gotta have Gucci, Louis, Prada to make myself feel good. Build you a system that buys your time back first. Did you hear this young woman just say her kids have to watch her kids while she works for 7 days out of the week, 2 jobs a day? That's not life, that's slavery. And it's no different than people going to work for 40 hours a week for 40 years in a row. That is also slavery, especially when Uncle Sam taking 30% of your taxes. That's slavery. That's almost half of your money. That's 20% away from half of your money. So people need to practice passive streams of income, things like rental cars, rental properties, digital products, skills, consumer law, civil law, constitutional law, contract law, case law, family law, criminal law, business law, administrative procedure, jurisdiction, learning how to file a motion, learning how to file a dispute, learning how to file a notice, a complaint, appellate court, post-conviction relief. These are things we need to learn. Law and finance go together like salt and pepper. And this is why we are losing, because we are not applying. Information needs application. You're not going to get any results if you don't apply it. It's just like a basketball player going to practice and shooting threes very good while he's in practice. Then he gets in the game and he doesn't shoot any threes at all. He's not going to see any results of a three-pointer going through that basket because he's not shooting. So he's not going to get results because he's not applying. It's the same thing with information. Information needs application. That's just common sense. Everybody has to apply. And so what I'm going to do this morning is, on this video, I'm going to show you preparation. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. So consumer profiles. We're going to be talking about consumer profiles this morning and also constitutional law. So I will be showing people how to prepare your disputes, how to put them inside of these envelopes here. We'll put them inside of these priority mail envelopes because you're preserving a record. They can't explain to you why you're sending it off certified or priority. You send it off certified mail when you're making direct contact and you want a response back directly, okay? Say you're making contact to a prosecutor, attorney, or things of that nature. When you're making contact with a prosecutor or a debt collector, it's just a certificate of service. You need the expected delivery date for the time. It takes 30 days for a debt collector to respond, and a prosecutor has 14 days to respond by law. And this is why you need to send it off priority mail. It's for the timeline. You get an expected delivery date, and you will track that timeline to see if they have a non-response, and then you will preserve the record if they don't respond. And that is when you escalate. That is also for felonies as well at a state or federal level. When you file a motion, a prosecutor has 14 days to respond. It's the same thing when you file a dispute and a complaint for a consumer profile, for your consumer credit profile. A debt collector has 30 days to respond. They respond back to the CFPB. The CFPB is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. It's the same thing with the prosecution. The prosecution will put this on record. They will preserve the record through the clerk of courts. The clerk of courts and the CFPB are like brother and sister. They go neck and neck. Okay? Now, step 6, you will file the dispute, print your dispute package, make copies for your records, mail your dispute. You're going to mail them off priority mail, okay? You're going to get the receipt. Remember to get the receipt. Now, recommended USPS priority mail. Keep tracking information, keep delivery confirmation, save the receipt, save the tracking number and copies of everything that you sent. Step 7, you want to track the delivery. Confirm delivery date, save proof of delivery, and create you a dispute log. Record the date it was mailed, the date it was delivered, the tracking number, and the company disputed. After you file your dispute, it is non-negotiable that you file your complaint through the CFPB, which is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. It is non-negotiable, okay? Step 8, you enforce through regulatory channels. Now, if your dispute was not properly handled, then you escalate, which is to the CFPB. You file a complaint with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. You upload supporting documents, include tracking information, dispute letter, responses received. Step 9, you want to monitor results. That's how you file, enforce, and monitor. Monitor will be your last stage. Filing would be you going through USPS, sending it off priority mail. Enforcing would be you escalating to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau through a electronic complaint. You would escalate to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau through an electronic complaint, and then you would monitor your results. You monitor your report for 30 to 60 days. You check for corrections, updates, deletions, verifications, responses, and you save all responses received. Step 10, you repeat this monthly. Every month, you do this on your own without a credit repair coach, without a funding coach. You do this every month on your own. You will build your own consumer profile for funding. Once you start to see results with your profile and your score, you go into the bank and you sit down yourself and you talk to the banking relationship manager. You get dressed up and you talk to the banking relationship manager, not just the bank rep. You talk to the banking relationship manager and the banking officer is who you want to build a relationship with, because they wear the underwriting hat and the underwriting pants. The bank rep is the lowest level next to the teller. And that's why all these credit coaches and funding coaches tell you that they have a relationship with the bank rep, which is the lowest level next to the teller. Make it make sense. Now, challenge newly discovered inaccuracies. There's going to be new information that pops up on your profile. So every month you might see something new. You might see some things that pop back up on your profile because these companies recycle this information. That's why credit repair is a scam, and you have to learn this yourself. Credit repair is a scam for one, because they're not citing the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, but they're not citing the CROA, which is the Credit Repair Organizations Act, which prohibits you from charging anybody in America upfront for credit repair services. You have to perform your services first. You have to give them 3 days to cancel their contract. You have to cite the consumer rights to you before you help them, and you also are not allowed to tell them that you could do a credit sweep in 48 hours, or that you could do a credit sweep period, because there's no such thing as a credit sweep. All of that stuff that they talk. My name is Jordan Laster, proceed litigator. What I am here to show you, like I said, is preparation for consumer law and constitutional law this morning. Credit repair cannot compare to a litigation skill. You can litigate for yourself and do this on your own, become self-reliant. Okay, and I mean, even with a lawyer, you'll be able to go to your lawyer with your own defense strategy. What I am about to show you, you have to do this at least once a month. This is not a one-time thing. You have to do this consistently, okay? Now, you want to prepare this packet before you even go to USPS. So you can stop at USPS and pick these packets up. Grab 10 of them. They're free. You don't have to pay for them until you send them off. Grab 10 of them and keep them in your car. When you get off your instrument job, you go type up the dispute with the inaccuracies, the inaccurate names, addresses, phone numbers. Make sure you put the place of employment that's correct. All the collections that you want removed, that you're challenging. All the derogatory marks, late payments, everything that you're challenging, you want to put it in that dispute. Okay, you're going to use your 13 core federal chapters of consumer law and your 28 key sections of consumer law and legal defense when you type up this dispute. You're going to put 2 forms of ID with the dispute inside of this priority mail envelope. And then you mail it off. Once you mail it off, they're going to give you an expected delivery date. Okay? They're going to give you a receipt. You keep the receipt. Take a picture of it as well. I always take a picture of it, and I keep the expected delivery date. Okay? Circle it. Very important, because that's the date that you're going to go to the CFPB and file your Consumer Financial Protection Bureau complaint. Okay? You need to make an account if you don't have one. Like I said, you're going to do this once a month. Now, this is a monthly formula. You want to review your report. It's going to build positive credit, challenge inaccurate information, file your disputes, monitor results, and you repeat next month. Do you see how it says build positive credit? That never stops. So you're going to continue to add credit builders. Review your report every day. Check your kickoff. Check your identity IQ. Every day. Check. They actually have one that's for free called annualcreditreport.com. Check your consumer profile every day if you can, at least once a week if you can't check it every day. I check mine 3 times a day. Build positive credit. You add credit builders. You add secure cards. You upgrade to auto loans, and then eventually you upgrade to unsecured cards. Okay. You want to challenge inaccurate information. Even when you upgrade to unsecured cards, you continue to challenge inaccurate information. You file disputes. You want to monitor your results, and you repeat the next month. You do not pay credit repair for rounds. That is the #1 rule. You're not paying credit repair for rounds. You're going to get up off your behind, and you're going to go to USPS, and you're going to send these disputes off yourself. You're going to pull up your CFPB consumer portal, and you're going to file these complaints yourself. Okay, I filed 33 disputes and complaints last year on my own for me and my wife. You have to send off 3 envelopes. One goes to TransUnion, one goes to Experian, one goes to Equifax. It's actually your 2 E's and a T. 2 E's and a T are my big 3. So Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion are your 2 E's and a T. Those are the main 3 bureaus. You also have 50 other agencies that hold your consumer information, okay? Those are the main 3 agencies that hold your consumer information, but you have 50 to 100 other agencies that hold your information, all right? Innovis, CoreLogic, LexisNexis, ANRS, I could go on and on, check systems. Those are also ones that you will want to freeze indefinitely, and you might even have to challenge information on there. But freeze them indefinitely, and always check to make sure they're frozen before you go apply for auto loans, credit cards, things of that nature. Consumer law walkthrough checklist. Step 1, you want to pull and review your consumer reports. Obtain your consumer reports. Review all personal information. Names, addresses, phone numbers, employers. Review all account information, collections, charge-offs, late payments, repossessions, judgments, if applicable, hard inquiries, public records. Identify information you believe is inaccurate, incomplete, unverifiable, or unauthorized. This is for student loans, auto loans, credit card debt, bankruptcies, everything. You challenge everything on your consumer credit profile. You are allowed to challenge these things, okay? And it's recognized, consumer laws is recognized as your international right. Pro-se litigation is constitutional. It's connected to your 6th Amendment. So you litigating for yourself, this is constitutional law. Consumer law is inside of law. Consumer law is inside of constitutional and contract law. You are litigating for yourself, okay? Consumer law is the basement to all law. Everybody in the world is recognized as a consumer. Even in China, they have CPLs, which are consumer protection laws. They have 13 core federal chapters in America, and they have 28 key sections in America, okay? Step 2, you want to build while you challenge. Establish positive reporting accounts. Examples, Credit Sesame, Ava, Self, Kickoff, Boom, Kobo. Those are all credit builders that we should have. Everybody should have these credit builders paying on them every single month. You need at least 4 to 8 credit builders, because you're going to need 8 to 12 positive accounts on your consumer credit profile. This is personal profile. You have to separate your personal from your business profile. Maintain positive payment history, secure cards, credit builders, auto loans, other legitimate accounts. Pay all active accounts on time. Keep utilization low. Remember, build and challenge simultaneously. The reason I mentioned personal first is because they're going to do a PG when you go ask for business funding. The first or second time you ask for business funding, they're going to use a PG, which is a personal guarantor. They're going to pull from your personal profile first. They're not just going to give you business funding based off an LLC that you have for 48 hours. It does not work like that, okay? Credit repair cannot compare to the skill. What I just showed you is literally what credit repair is charging you $1,500 for. You're going to go send these disputes off yourself, and then you're going to file your complaint through the CFPB, which is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. They try to tell you that the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is closed, but they are not. Okay, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is backed by the federal government. They are open right now. You are allowed to go file your complaints on your own. You don't need anybody to middleman a complaint for you. They will give you a complaint number when you successfully file this complaint, so you will know that you successfully filed this complaint. You do not need a credit repair coach. You do not need a funding coach. You do not need a life coach. You need consumer laws and consumer lending. Look up who Arthur J. Morris is. He's a lawyer from Virginia. He made it possible for all consumers to utilize consumer laws and consumer lending, even wage earners, without a middleman, okay? Now, this is more than a skill transfer. This is empowerment. This is a lifetime skill that you're going to have to empower you. You can transfer the skill to other people as well. Step 3, document every item you plan to challenge. For each account or item, account name, account number, reason for dispute. Examples, not mine, incorrect balance, incorrect dates, duplicate account, unauthorized inquiry, unverified information, personal information errors. Those are all the things that you challenge. Why you're challenging them, these are the examples of why you're challenging them. You don't have to put identity theft. All these credit repair coaches tell you they're going to do identity theft and don't even check to see if your name is released into the data breach, which is illegal. These are the reasons that you're challenging this inaccurate information on your consumer profile. It's not yours. Incorrect balance, incorrect dates, duplicate account, unauthorized inquiry, unverified information, or personal information errors. Okay? Step 4, prepare your dispute letter. Create a written dispute. That dispute will go inside of this priority mail envelope here with 2 forms of ID. You could use a copy of your social, a copy of your state ID or your driver's license, birth certificate, but you need 2 forms of ID. A passport will work as well. You keep all your information. You only need to put your last 4 of your social inside of this dispute. You don't have to give anybody your social when you're filing these things. By law, you put your name, full name, you put your address, you put the last 4 of your social and your birthday. That's all they need. They don't need any more information than that. And you don't have to give that information to anybody. Keep it yourself. Make copies of the IDs and you put them inside of the envelope. Now, clearly identify who you are, what information is being challenged, why it is being challenged, what correction or verification you are requesting. Attach supporting evidence if available. Examples: identification, utility bill, statements, court records, payment records. This is you preserving a record. Step 5, reference applicable consumer laws. Depending on the situation, consumers often reference these laws right here. Laws such as the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which is the FCRA, which is the only law that they quote. The Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, which is the FDCPA, the Truth in Lending Act, which is the TILA, the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, which is the ECOA, the Gramm-Leach-Billy Act, which is the GLBA, the Credit Repair Organizations Act, which is the CROA, the Fair and Accurate Credit Transactions Act, which is the FACTA, the Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act, which is your RESPA, which is your RESPA, your HIPAA, your HIPAA. For certain medical privacy matters, you use laws that actually apply to the facts of your dispute. Don't just let anybody write up a dispute for you. 8 million disputes were filed last year, and 4 million of them came back frivolous. So credit repair companies cannot be effective. It doesn't matter if they got your score up. They are scamming you because you need to learn how to do this yourself.